Gemini, you've learned how to navigate a particular situation. In fact, you've mastered it. And that's the card I got here, Mastery, with this squirrel card. And the squirrel card talks about strategy and planning, planting seeds or nuts that then grow into trees, or nuts that you can come back to when the weather turns cold so you have sustenance in the future. It's like you've prepared for the future. You've created something, or you've enacted a clever strategy, you figured out some truth, you debunked something, you called something out, you hit the nail on the head, and you did this quickly and quietly, but the effects are going to be loud and thunderous. You make a splash and impact. Something you said is extremely memorable to someone, or maybe even a group of people. And I got in my meditation, someone takes note of something you've said and they write it down. And it feels like this could be somebody that you least expect to be listening to you or to be reading what you've written. It's like you create a bookmark for them. They come across something you've said or something you've done or something you've written. You've communicated something clever, smart, wise, planned, strategic. And this creates a foundational moment for someone that they don't forget. They realize this is an important part of my story. This is an important chapter that I have to come back to. And I don't know what you did exactly, but you did the right thing. And whatever happened before you mastered something took a lot of effort. It's like you went back and forth on something. You tried a little bit of this, you tried a little bit of that, and you figured out what worked and what didn't. And like the squirrel, you're okay to leave some of the seeds that you planted behind. And maybe you'll come back to them at another time, or maybe you'll leave them for other people to pick up. These could be words of wisdom, or I don't know, something, just energy. You're playing a big role here in not just your own future unfolding, but the future unfoldings of other people as well. There also seems to be like a network, a group of people, and it's like a chain reaction. You affect one person, and then that affects another person, and then it's another person is impacted, and it all comes down to the one nut, the one seed that you planted. Now, I'm also getting a message here that you have pure intentions. And what I mean by pure intentions is not like good or bad. And like, I don't mean it's good intentions. I mean, pure is in terms of like, you know what they are. They're not muddied. You know what your intentions are. You know what you're doing. You know what you're after. You know how you feel about something. You know what you've seen and observed. You know the messages that you've received from source, consciousness, from spirit, from your guides. You know, and you're boldly going forward with that knowledge. Now, there's somebody here who may try to trespass on your energy or create self-doubt in you. But I feel like you've come to a point where, let's see, Five of Swords, yeah, where you see something for what it is. You see how somebody's words that might be trying to undermine you or dishevel you, throw you off course, is a projection or a strategy that only a loser employs, somebody who can't actually go the full mile like you can. This is a cheap shot, somebody takes a cheap shot. That's it. And you see that for what it is. Okay? And their cheap shot, I almost said chap there. Maybe it's a chap, a little chap. I don't know. Okay. This cheap shot is not as powerful as your long shot, right? You took a long shot, meaning you took a risk with something, but you also planned for the future, long-term plans, okay? And somebody's only thinking short-term here. Okay, so I also got that someone from the past is inspired by you. This is someone you could reconnect with, and there's an unexpected reunion. Could be a friend, a family member. I'm not sure exactly for everyone. We'll see if we get more into that. Then I also got this message that you might be experiencing some small injuries with your hands or your ears or your feet, maybe like stubbing your toe or paper cuts, things like this. And Spirit's saying these are little signals that you need to connect back with your body. Some of you are very exhausted, tired, you're not sleeping well. There's something in your environment that could change. Okay, I'm seeing something purple. It feels like maybe you need to remove something purple. Purple is a color of crown chakra, psychic intuition. Maybe your crown's a little open at night. You need more rest. Baths, water, clean your diet, these kinds of things. Take care of yourself. Be intentional with what you do with your vessel. Okay, this is going to help you right now. Of course, Uranus is in your sign, so there could be a lot going on in terms of how you're thinking and how you're communicating and how you're networking with others, and how you're seeing the networks of others. Remember to stay grounded. Very important. The other thing I got here is that there might be a moment coming up where you need to really remind yourself to be patient. Something that you've invested a lot of time and energy into will play out successfully for you. But it's going to take a little bit of time to unfold. This feels like something that maybe has a lot of moving parts, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of toiling, a lot of thinking, strategizing like the squirrel, and the results of what you've done, and I feel like you've done a good job here, are not immediate. Okay, this is something that needs a little bit of time to blossom into a reward for you. And it doesn't feel like this will happen in the next few months. I just have to be honest. It feels like this could be in 6 months from now, you'll really, or maybe even a little bit longer, you'll really see the rewards of something that you've put a lot of time, energy, and effort into. Okay, I also got the number 6636, but okay, 663 too. So let's see what else we get for you, dear Gemini. Let's see the energies that are supporting you. Mastery with the squirrel. Are you seeing a lot of squirrels lately? Pay attention. Watch them. See what they do. They could have a message for you. High Priestess, intuition as the energy supporting you. Yes. I feel like your intuition has led you to a very clever solution or a very witty endeavor. This is something that you had to take a little bit of a leap of faith with. Your intuition is heightened right now. Okay, it could also be the fact that you're finding things that others have left behind. And you intuitively know what something means or what to touch and what not to touch. This could be deciding to read things and not read things, respond to some people, not respond to some people. It could be more literal, like you're actually finding things. You could be having dreams of finding things. Inspiration, intuition and inspiration. Beautiful. Ace of Wands. Wow. This is really powerful energy, Gemini. You come off a little unassuming here as the squirrel, but you make a big splash. And I did write down someone from the past is inspired by you. Could also be the case that you find yourself inspired by them too. It's an opportunity here to see something that you've been waiting to see. What? What has Gemini been waiting to see? Moving on, 5 of Cups in reverse. It says forgiveness and acceptance. You've been waiting to see, I'm hearing a rainbow bridge. I don't know, a rainbow bridge maybe you see a rainbow. But you've been waiting to see a sign, a synchronicity, or an indication from spirit that it's time to move on from a certain thing in your life or a person. Or maybe it's something you're doing. You're inspired to take up a new opportunity and move on from whatever it is that you've mastered now. Gemini is the eternal student, the eternal learner, okay? You love a good puzzle. You love to learn new things. You love to try your hand at new things and to be challenged. Your mind is restless if you're not being challenged intellectually and even creatively, spiritually even. So something that you did so well and you master and you see the rewards come from that, you realize that this is the pinnacle of something here and it's time to go to the next thing. Write the next book or move on to the next piece of the puzzle or a new puzzle entirely. Something that was really bothering you, weighing you down, maybe even feeling like it was enslaving you at some level in energy or a conflict, is something that is starting to feel like really minor now. You trusted your intuition with this, and it served you well. Okay, let's see the challenge. Rebellion, initiative with the page. Okay, hold on. Let me just get one more. Okay, so we have the Hierophant in reverse, the Page of Wands, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. And it says on these cards, rebellion, initiative, and unpredictable. Where will you go next? So you've mastered a strategy. You've done an excellent job planning something out, planning a project out, planning an argument out, planning a path out. You know, you've really thought about all the moving pieces. Now Spirit is saying you've mastered that and you're moving on because you're inspired. Your intuition is inspiring you towards something else. And whatever this thing is, this new thing, it requires you to incorporate the unpredictable, to allow for the unexpected to happen. Spirit wants you to know that you can handle something. Therefore, you don't need to plan something down right to the last detail anymore. Maybe you did in the past. You mastered that. But now something's coming up where you can't really plan for it all. That could cause you some anxiety, but this is where you're being inspired to go. You discover something or you want to do something, you're driven, and you feel like maybe this is a little impulsive. Maybe I need to relax and think about this. But Spirit is saying this doubt is not something you need to hold on to. The doubt that you had before served you because you refined things. You know, when you doubted yourself, you refined whatever it is that you were saying, doing, creating. But now, because of the mastery, you don't have to doubt anymore. You've planted all the seeds and the nuts. They're there. Know that. Don't doubt that they'll suddenly not be there in the future. They will. So you can free yourself up now that you've done all the planting of the seeds and the nuts to go explore, to rebel against always having to see 10 steps ahead. There's something about moving with the energy and going with the flow and not feeling like you need to know the full story or the full narrative. Your intuition is inspiring you, guiding you. And your intuition can give you actual, real, solid, detailed information. And it can also be an experience, an intuitive experience can be something that is very loosely defined. It's like you just feel like you should go in that direction. You just feel like you should go visit this place or call this person or say this thing. This word comes up. You don't know why. You just feel it. And Spirit's asking you to allow for that unexpected energy to come through. This is the next thing to master in the journey. The unpredictable, and taking initiative based on those unpredictable impulses that you feel. I really want to call this person up. I really want to go here. Maybe I should try this. I've never done that and I want to do it. And then you kind of go back and you're like, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. And maybe I should think about that a bit more. Maybe I'm just bored. Maybe I'm just being impulsive. But Spirit's saying you've mastered strategy and planning. So this isn't coming from a naive or underdeveloped part of your brain, I'm getting. This is coming from a place that feels secure enough to explore. Okay. You're taking an initiative here. You're rebelling. It's unpredictable. It's challenging for you because you're not used to it, or perhaps bad things happened in the past when you followed that kind of energy. But Spirit's telling you this is the way. Okay, this is the way. Let's see. Tell me more, Spirit, for Gemini. I just saw 1555. 555. 5 is about change, and it can be about things being unpredictable, learning how to flow with change. And it's even like you think you know what you're going to say. You think you know what something's about. But in the moment, your intuition is inspiring a new thought, a new idea. And being able to change on a dime or adapt to the energy that's intuitively coming to you is significant for you right now. It's like the difference between writing out a whole script and just speaking off the cuff. Spirit is saying you've done the scripting. Like you have that down. You have the foundation. You know things. Okay? Now you can be a little bit more spontaneous. And you're respected too. You've earned respect already. You don't need to prove something. Your eloquence, I'm hearing. You don't need to prove your eloquence. Yeah, exactly. Your overall energy, I'm going to get all the cards out, but is the world. Mastery. Okay, interesting. Some of you have love on the mind, on the brain. What about love? What about connection? You might not be seeing a lot of love around you lately. Okay, we'll get to that. So your overall energy, the world. Mastery, right? 8 of Pentacles. I've worked really hard on seeing to see all the ins and outs of a situation or of my path or what I want to do. So let's see more. Tell me more about the world for Gemini. Tell me more about the mastery in the world. And moving on, right? A cycle's closed. 3 of Cups. Moving on from what other people think of you, other people's opinions guiding your creative endeavors or guiding your thoughts. Sometimes it's really important to take in other people's feedback, right, and constructive criticism and work with other people. And other times you need to roll solo and trust that your ideas might be so original and unique that others might not have the chance to relate to them just yet. They need to ponder it. They need to sit with it. And I got that. Someone takes note, writes it down. You bookmark something for someone. You're stepping into a position of being a leader. I mean, you've been a leader for a while, but I feel like you've seen yourself more as part of a group, part of a collective, or just, one of many. Now you're realizing you have some seniority here. And so there's a real push from Spirit to say, this is no longer about what other people want from you or other people think about you or even what you think about other people. This time in your life is about, where am I inspired yet scared to go next? Where do I feel that nudge to go towards, but it also freaks me out, or like it makes me feel like maybe I can't do it? Because Spirit's saying, that's where you go now. Some of you are letting go of a certain community or friendships. You're seeing that there's a season for some people, and that season has come to a close. Okay, and I feel like you're okay with that. And maybe in the past you weren't. Unexpected reunion. It's time for a change up in the energies around you, Ace of Pentacles. To be re-inspired. The Wheel of Fortune and the King of Cups with strength. This is a connection. I'm seeing the King of Cups as someone else, as a connection with someone who is emotionally mature. This isn't about gossip or drama or negative kind of quarrels that you have to then mediate or figure out or narrate or come up with some strategy to do something about it. This is Spirit saying you're moving into a season where you're meant to connect with people who inspire you through their emotional maturity and their courage to take chances. Some of you are going to find some people you look up to, that you see as mentors, but you're not going to feel smaller than them. You're going to feel like you're on an equal playing field, and you are. Okay, that's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful when you can have a friend who you feel like you're on the same wavelength, or a colleague or a lover or whatever it is. You feel like you're on the same wavelength and they're also your mentor. You also look up to them. You also feel like, wow, you inspire me. And I feel like they're inspired by you too. It goes both ways. Okay, I'm hearing you're out of the little leagues. So the energy that you don't see coming, what you don't see coming is the Devil card. This Devil card is very interesting. We see all these masks in here. This is the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot. Capricorn energy. What you don't see coming. Now, the Devil card is over here. Oh, it's actually like this on the table. Looking at the world. Like, oh, you think you closed something out? You think you mastered something? So this could be a little bit of negative voices, the naysayers, the cheap shots that you don't see coming. Let's see. Somebody who's wearing many masks. The Devil. Some of you are going to be tempted to fall back into bad habits because you don't feel well. I'm hearing, don't give in to that Neptunian force, okay? Maybe you need to look at what Neptune's doing in your chart right now. It can be comforting to go back to old ways because it's familiar, but there's something in the past here that you've overcome, that you've given up, or that you've worked through, and there could be some temptation to fall back to that. Because right now you're in between chapters, the bookmark, you're in between chapters. You've mastered something, you've completed something, very strategic, very analytic in nature, a lot of mental energy involved. And next comes the unpredictable, rebellious initiative, future inspired by your intuition. And you're just on the precipice of going into that chapter. But if it could feel a little bit off-putting, or like you're in a major transition period, or you don't know what's coming next. This could even be about a very particular situation, and you've already accomplished one thing, and now you're waiting for the next thing to happen. You're in this like moment of, I don't, like it's a holding period almost. Patience, Spirit's saying have patience. Okay, don't fall back into old ways. Don't regress, just to find some kind of comfort because things feel a little unfamiliar right now. You are moving into uncharted territory, but that's exactly where you're supposed to go. You're growing, you're evolving. So let's see. Tell me about this. The Six of Cups. Exactly, right? The Devil card is regression. It's going back to the past, to something that didn't serve you. Some of you might be getting nostalgic over past relationships or past friendships that failed, or family situations, and getting a little bit stuck on that. Spirit is saying here that one of the forces that's driving that nostalgic energy in the shadow, is you feeling out of sorts, feeling uncomfortable, not feeling grounded in your body. There's something like you've planned for the future, but now in this moment, you need to pay attention to the present circumstances. Like, how does my body feel right in this moment? What could I do to be kind to my body? Do I need to stand up? I actually feel like I want to stand up. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Like, do you need to stretch your legs? Oh, that does feel so good. Gemini, you need to stretch your legs, or like stretch your arms, or like, what do you need to do, Gemini, to make yourself feel better? Do you need to lie down? Do you need to have a glass of water? Do you need to eat something? Spirit's saying, like, ground yourself in present caretaking energy so you don't slip back into, well, I feel kind of weird now and I don't know what's coming next. And now I'm in this, like, maybe it even feels anticlimactic, like I've mastered something and I'm moving somewhere else and I don't know what to do. So maybe I'll just go back and do that thing that I know is not good for me, or that makes me feel like I know what's going on, even though I don't really want to be doing that. Okay? This could also be the people throwing cheap shots. These could be people who feel like they've known you for a long time and they don't recognize your evolution and your growth. And they don't believe the shifts and changes you've made. Okay, and you're surprised. This is what you don't see coming. You're surprised by that. Okay. So your opportunity is Page of Swords. I just saw 2644. That could be a number for someone. And the Page of Swords is looking over at the challenge. The opportunity is looking at the challenge, the Two of Cups. This is why I'm saying some of you could have love on your mind or connections on your mind. The Page of Swords is a card of insight and discovery, doing more research, seeing things from a slightly different angle. Being willing to admit that you might not exactly know everything about what is challenging you right now. Don't try to master your shadow or the challenge. Just be aware of it. That will help. Okay, you don't need to master that right now. You've probably already have mastered quite a bit about that. Tell me more about the Page of Swords for the opportunity. Some of you are putting on a really strong, like, bold, assertive persona, mask or personality or hat, whatever you want to say. This bear, right? I'm seeing this bear on your back. Like, I'm the bear, chill out. Don't come near me. I'm the bear. Just so that you can feel safe being vulnerable. It's very interesting. It's like you don't want to lead with vulnerability. And I don't think you need to lead with vulnerability. But don't confuse this bear persona, this protective, strong mask that you have to wear around certain people, or that you're putting up to protect yourself. I'm not saying this in a negative way. It's like a self-protective mechanism, like you're aware, right? Don't confuse that part of yourself as all of yourself. Recognize that there is still something vulnerable about you that wants to be discovered, or that wants to be lived, that wants to explore. Okay, so you could come out like a real professional, a real expert, a real master with something. But in the background, you're like, I don't know anything about what I want to do next. And everybody over here is looking at me like I know everything. Okay, so just hold that tension. Don't ignore it. Spirit's just saying, hold that tension. Acknowledge that you can be a master at one thing and a novice at another. And those two things can be very similar too, that you're a master and novice at. Okay, interesting. 10 of Pentacles. This is what you are exploring and looking at. The long term. Where do I go next? What am I building for myself? How do I get stability? What does success even mean to me? What is life? It's a little existential. Okay, so your opportunity is to see a pathway, to see an opportunity to get closer to this feeling of self-fulfillment, the high priestess, and there she is. And that's what Spirit's saying is the opportunity, the pathway that you're searching for, that you're looking for to get to the Ten of Pentacles, whether the Ten of Pentacles is spiritual growth to you, or it's material security, or it's relationship dynamics, like whatever that Ten of Pentacles is representing to you, the way that you get there is through your intuition. Being inspired by your intuition. And remembering that your intuition is sometimes unpredictable in terms of where it's taking you. You thought that maybe this was the best path, but now your intuition is saying something else and you didn't expect that. And following that discovery trail, going forward, rebellious, and putting some doubts to rest. That's how you march on to the Ten of Pentacles now. In the past, I feel like you need to be more strategic. Okay, so the challenge is the Two of Cups. And if you are thinking about love, how do I improve my current relationship? Or how do I find a relationship? How do I see eye to eye with the people around me? This is also about embracing the unpredictable. This is also about being a little bit impulsive and spontaneous. This is also about not holding back and exploring. Following that intuition. This is also, there's something, you're a mystery, the Fool, but you're also a mystery unto yourself. Yeah, Page of Cups. But people could try to figure you out, and you don't need to get into a trap of explaining everything, because I don't think you have the explanation for everything you're feeling now. You had the explanation for everything you did before that you mastered, but now you're moving to this new territory. You can't really explain everything. And so don't feel like you need to. Let yourself be a mystery, both to others and to yourself. Okay, the Two of Cups. Tell me about this as the challenge. The Two of Cups. Strength and the King of Cups. Well, here we go with the King of Cups. Emotional maturity. There's a connection here that either needs more emotional maturity or you're having a hard time finding that in general with others. And emotional maturity here is someone who can express their heart. You see how he's pulling back his shirt and exposing his heart. Sitting down to have that difficult conversation. Even as somebody else is keeping their boundaries up or having their strength. You know, this is a person who is willing to sit down and have a deep conversation. And that's a challenge for you right now. Why is this a challenge for Gemini? Four of Wands. You may have gotten into a little bit of a routine with someone, okay, where you're not having those deep heart-to-hearts anymore. Or again, you could be a little bit worried about what someone else is thinking and how someone else is perceiving you. That you're not really able to connect on a soul level. Some of you are working out something that has to do with home, stability, moving, things like that. You're getting over a big shift and change. And you're dreaming of a connection or a deeper connection, but it hasn't arrived yet. Patience. It will come. Okay, take care of yourself right now. The advice is the Moon card. The mystery. The impulsive nature. That's your advice, is to go forth in the Moon. You've mastered the Sun energy. intellect, ego even, which can be an amazing thing to master, to integrate your ego, to understand your ego, where it gets away from you and where it serves you. Your identity out there in the world, your persona. You've been illuminated to truths about yourself and others. You've secured something for yourself. You've made a plan. You've been strategic. You've dotted the I's, crossed the T's. You've done the work. Met the challenges head on. You were very clever with something. You were very clever with something. There's some certainty here that you've mastered. And now Spirit is saying, you've done the sun. Now's the season for the moon. Some of you may find that you're going inward more than usual. Drawing on that dark, deep, intuitive, feminine energy. High Priestess coming out multiple times for you with the moon. This is really tapping into your inner depths. Okay, this is also getting more personal. You may be finding that you are relating to things on a more personal level, or you're ready to open up emotionally about things that have gone on in your life. You're exploring what that might mean. Tell me more about the moon. This is very specific, not for everyone, clearly. This is for those of you who chose not to be mothers in this lifetime, or have not yet become mothers for whatever reason, and you're wondering if that's going to continue. This is a time to really reflect on what the mother archetype is, and how it manifests in your life with or without children. Okay, because I see some it's not sadness or melancholy, but it's reflecting on what does it mean to be childless, or what does it mean to not want to mother. There's a question here, and Spirit's asking you to reflect deeper on it, because you are a mother regardless of whether you have human children or not, or fur babies or not. You're a mother in terms of you create things, you nurture things, you gestate things, you grow things, you give birth to things. And there's something about recognizing that as the ways in which you uniquely embody the archetype of mother. Yeah, but that's only for a few of you. Many of you are already mothers, okay? So that message won't be for you. So anything else with the moon? King of Swords. I like this, King of Swords. He's like, hey, why don't you take a trip down the moon? See what's on the other side. What's on the dark side of the moon? What's through this gateway? King of Swords is a master of the mind. But in order to master your mind, you really got to get to know your subconscious realm. So there's something here for you to do with that. And it comes... The minute you acknowledge that there's something that you've been hiding from yourself that you need to discover, you enter into the moon and you start to master your mind in a different way than you already have mastered. Okay? I'm going to tell you the outcome, but I will also say that I am going to do an extended. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper. I have no idea where we're going to go. I feel like we're going to get a couple new messages too, but we'll see what else is underneath all of this. If you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. If you're not interested in that, you don't like that idea, trust Spirit gave you a ton of information for you to work with, for you to think about, and knew you weren't coming to the extended, okay? So your outcome is the Eight of Wands, which is a totally different energy than I've seen so far. There's a lot of Cup and Pentacle stuff going on. There is the Four of Wands here, but it came out kind of as a block or a challenge. So the fire energy could be really challenging you right now, which is the rebellious initiatory spirit, the unpredictable. So the Eight of Wands is quick moving energy. There's something coming in that sparks you, that catches your attention, that like you feel like you've caught on to a magic carpet, and then all of a sudden your mind gets in the way here, or your subconscious mind maybe gets in the way, and you let go of that carpet ride. So there's something inspirational happening, but I feel like Spirit's saying don't let go of it. What is this? 8 of Wands. Whoa, it's a lot. Let me get more specific. There were a lot of Hermit, Queen of Cups, Page of Cups, 8 of Cups. This is something that comes from within you. It doesn't come from the external world. It's like a sudden source of inspiration. Like, hey, I want to write about that. I want to create that. I want to go there. I want to do this. Like, maybe this is the way I could tackle it. It like comes up from within you. Okay, so wait, what is this? The 9 of Cups. This is the missing piece. This is the thing that you've really been looking for to fulfill you. It's like there's been a void here, and you've done so much, you've mastered so much, but you still feel like something's a little bit missing, or there's something more, and there is, and it's coming, but it's coming from within you. So what else can I say about that, Spirit? I feel like I haven't said enough here. Well, maybe I'll draw one of these cards. I just love these cards. I got them for my birthday. Tending Your Haunted Cottage. I guess that's a kind of appropriate for your reading. But let's get a card here to close this reading out with the 9 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. I mean, this is a beautiful outcome. This is like fiery, fast-moving energy that is a wish fulfillment for you. It's something that you want in your life. So what can we say in relation to this, Spirit, that Gemini needs to hear for their highest good? What needs to be said here? We have Winding Road, number 45. Let's see, which is a 9, 4 plus 5, 9, 9 of Cups. Okay, 45. Let's see what they say. I just love the artwork. It just touches me. Like, not all decks have this effect on me, but there's something beautifully haunting here. Experiences offer direction, progress, trust, and trajectory. In life, the road you travel symbolizes your journey, your choices, your actions, and the direction you choose to follow. A winding road suggests that your path may not always be straightforward, and the obstacles or diversions you encounter may offer valuable lessons along the way. This winding journey may seem uncertain at times, but it reflects a deeper process of growth and understanding. Life's twists and turns are not random. They are part of your unique journey towards self-discovery and fulfillment. The road you're on is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't always feel linear. Each experience, each challenge has a purpose. This winding road, with all its twists and turns, is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. While the path may feel winding, remember that it's leading you to exactly where you need to be. Trust your own instincts and intuition as you navigate this journey. Don't let the opinions or expectations of others pull you off course. Your heart knows the way forward. So this is your winding journey towards your fulfillment. Beautiful. All right, Gemini, you go down that winding path and let me know how it goes. Maybe I'll join you. I love you. See you next time.